If you want growth and transformation, you can't ignore fear, right? So if you ignore fear, you're ignoring a real truth about being human. And if you ignore fear and you ignore that real truth about being human, you can be in what they call denial. And denial can keep you from having an authentic experience for yourself. Now, some fears need to not get as much time as they get. All right, so that's not ignoring. That's saying, I see you and I am not going to put up with living here. That's not ignoring. That's saying, I want a transformed relationship, which looks like little bumps or, little arrows. Mm-hmm. Sometimes panic attacks and fear can feel debilitating, can feel like you cannot function because of them. One step we would suggest immediately is to say, am I actually in fear now, or actually in danger now? What you're needing to do is interrupt the neural pathways, because right now you're just using one little freeway in your brain that goes, trigger who? Paralyzed. Trigger who? Can't do anything. You want to slow that down. One of the best things we've ever had for doing that is what is true now. And the trouble with what is true now is this. People say, what is true now? I'm wearing brown pants and I'm still really afraid. That's not what is true now. What is true now is I'm wearing brown pants. And then see where you go next. I'm really afraid. Okay, what else is true now? I'm wearing a green shirt. Like, take a breath. And we're exaggerating the breath, but we're not making fun. We mean it. Take a breath. There needs to be a commitment to, I want this pattern to change, which means not believing that it can't. Understand? Not believing that you have no choice. Because you haven't had a way out of it, it's been very, 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 very tempting to think that was the only way you could live. However, by asking the question, you indicate that you're ready for a change. And the change has to be connected to the idea that you're willing to say, no, I won't do this again. Focus on something else. No, is this easy? No. But what you're doing sounds horribly hard, so this is not as hard as that. It may feel very challenging in the beginning, but this challenge has an end that's different from the challenge you're in now. And if you just literally have to say, what is true now? I have 2 feet. What is true now? I have 2 hands. What is true now? I have brown hair. What is true now? And each time you're doing that, that desire to run that fear pattern is really strong in you, but you're saying, this is not as important to me as doing something else. As doing something else. It's a priority thing. Not to diminish the difficulty that situation is. However, you have to make a priority that you want to interact with it in a different way without succumbing to the idea that there's no way you could react to it in a different way. That's the trick. Because inside there's a pre-programmed belief that says there's no other way to do this. And that's what we're arguing with. Is there no other easy way to do this? Maybe. But there's a challenging way, but not a seemingly impossible way. Which is what that pattern feels like.